If no one comes back from the future to stop you from doing it, how bad of a decision could it really be? I love this sign, and this is from Sparrow in Roseville. There are so many fun signs. They're on Instagram, hilarious. But I wish I could go back in time and 53-year-old me could warn 3-year-old me not to listen to the food pyramid advice that was all around me. I wish that 53-year-old me could warn 3-year-old me that my great-grandfather knew it all when he said, grease is goodness, and if you eat too much bread and potatoes, you'll get fat and sick. He knew this because he had been a grocer for 50 years. He had the best scientific study ever. He had a longitudinal study superior than anything I've been taught in med school or in my master's of public health. But because he had a high school education, because he was not in this food pyramid mafia, nobody listened to this, right? And my mother, who was going to college, well-meaning, she was embracing all the low-fat things that 20-year-olds embraced in the 1970s. She was throwing away the butter. My mom and dad would fight over the butter. My mom said, we have to have margarine. I remember just feeling in my bones, this is sucks. I want the butter. And my dad wanted the butter. Mom was like, no. This is going to kill us. No, the meat is killing us. The fat is killing us. The butter is killing us. We need to have Mazola. We need to have Crisco. We need to have vegetable oils. This was terrible advice. If I told you, no, you can't have roast duck today, you should have a plastic duck. That would be better for you because it's low fat. You wouldn't need it. You wouldn't need a freaking plastic duck. But in a way, that's what we were being sold. We were being told, your grandparents are stupid. There's no need for women to cook. There's no need for ancestral traditions. That my ex-mother-in-law knew that olive oil was healthy, was disregarded. And when I was also parroting this food advice in the 90s, I was literally in medical school in the belly of the beast of all the low-fat stuff going on. I was terrified. I was echoing what my mother did. Please don't feed my kids high-fat things. I'm worried about them getting obese. Please don't do that. The very thing that I thought was going to make my kids obese is the very thing that would have healed them. The very thing that would have likely prevented them from having problems. The very thing that was demonized, fat, ancestral cooking, chopped liver, chicken with the skin on it, all these things, butter, cheese, all these things, ghee. Ghee was even being demonized. People said ghee was bad and you should have vegetable oil in the 70s. This is terrible advice, but it was a gaslight. They were making a bad decision. It was a collective bad decision. Now, I can't wind back the tape. I can't go back to 5-year-old me. I can't go back to 3-year-old me. But I can take the blinders off now, and I can know there was nothing wrong with me. I was just being gaslit. It's like the Matrix or the Truman Show. Once you go down a rabbit hole of what happened, you can't unsee it. And I'm not asking you to embrace anything new. There's no Dr. Sarita's new formula, Dr. Sarita. No, I'm just asking you to listen to your great-grandparents' recipes. Your great-grandparents in the 1950s or your great-great-grandparents in the 1950s, they were my great-grandparents' contemporaries, and I have home movies of them going up and down steps in Florida in their little heels and suits, and they look like models. They were not Peloton users. They were not marathon runners. These were seamstresses, grocers, and hairdressers, people who were effortlessly thin, eating real food out of real traditions. And we are not cars. We are animals. We have a relationship with food. Our stomachs are like bears. They're like, we have one stomach. It's supposed to eat a couple times a day. I was also taught in med school, we need to graze, eat tiny, tiny meals all day long. We're not cows. We don't have 4 stomachs. And, the vegetarian animals like cows and goats, they have a big belly because they're digesting all that food. Omnivore animals like bears, they they feast and they fast. I mean, I I feel so sad and at times so angry when I realize what happened. But there was a lot of suffering, and again, dang it, I can't go back in time. I don't have a time machine. I love the Wu Wei Wisdom channel where it says, we don't have a time machine. It happened. Accept that it happened. This is a chapter in your book, but you can close the chapter and you can go on. I thought when I was postmenopausal, I was fat shamed when I was 20, and I just doubled down on Slim Fast. And I struggled with food all my life, yo-yo dieting, phentermine, da-da-da. And I remembered when I was postmenopausal, really getting fat and sick, I thought, man, I'm just being written off here. People are just telling me, well, you're postmenopausal, you just gain weight. Well, how come my great-grandparents didn't just gain weight? Okay? So anyway, there's nothing wrong with you. It's what's wrong, what we've been through, and we've been through a massive gaslight around food. And I'm still waiting I'd like someone from the future to tell me if I'm making a bad decision now. So I guess this isn't such a bad video to post because no one has come back and warned me. But I so appreciate your time with me. I appreciate your sense of humor and my bad puns and my silly signs. And go to Sparrow to see the signs on their Instagram. They're hilarious. And they make you think. And I love humor. I love puns. I love food. I wanna make up for lost time where I denied myself healthy, real foods of my ancestors. And it's a journey, and you keep me strong to know other people are on the same journey together. And I, again, consider like, subscribe, comment, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.